Good morning. Yesterday marked the 1 year anniversary of when I started my cancer treatments for non Hodgkin's lymphoma. Initially, for the first 3 months, I was going every week. But after 3 months, my numbers had returned to the normal range and they stayed there. So I was given the option of either stopping the cancer treatments or going on a 2 year maintenance program where I would go in every 58 days instead of going in every week. It's still the same treatments, it's still the same medicine, but I just don't go as frequently. And the benefit of that is it will drop the likelihood of the cancer coming back from about 50% to about 15%. And I figure that I'm probably better off dealing with the cancer treatments now and doing myself the service of not having to deal with them when I'm in my 60s and 70s and not quite as physically resilient. Um, but I really appreciate that I was able to sit alone with my thoughts for 6.5 hours and process through things that normally I wouldn't have the opportunity to. And I'd like to talk about some of the things that I would think about while sitting in the chair hooked up to the IV. The first one that I would like to talk about would be, why don't police have to carry malpractice insurance? Is it that it's too risky and insurance companies won't touch it? I don't know. But it would seem that if law enforcement were to have to uh, get malpractice insurance, and similar to how driver's licenses are, where you get a certain number of points and your license is suspended or revoked, if law enforcement were to have a similar point system, they would become uninsurable, and then they wouldn't be able to bounce from one department to another department after upsetting the boat in each one of these departments. And it also would keep the taxpayer from having to foot the bill when a civil servant does something they shouldn't do. Um, I've been speaking to a friend of mine named Dave. Prior to my cancer treatments, we'd actually been talking about this, but it was one of the things that I thought about while I was in cancer treatment. And Dave's idea was that if you were to, instead of having the taxpayer foot the bill, have any settlements against a law enforcement officer, come out of the police pension fund, then it would motivate the police who normally turn a blind eye to the bad actors to take a stand, or to at least weed them out, because you're affecting their bottom line. And I think that Dave said it, the most effective way to get police to police the police is to affect their bottom line. And if you were to know, if you were to see an officer doing something that possibly was going to cost you in your retirement, you would be motivated to get that person off your department, or get that person out of law enforcement as a whole. Because us as normal citizens, we can't fight that thin blue line. It's lawyers who are trained in law, who go to school for more years than I want to go to school for, study law, and they have a hard time breaking through that thin blue line, because there's a sense of, there's a fraternity there, and they have to look out for each other, and they don't want to get hung out to dry if they say something against another one of their brothers. And this has motivated them to keep their mouths shut, and that perpetuates the problems that we're having with law enforcement today. It's the reason why civilians, normal, everyday, run of the mill citizens, don't trust police anymore. 10, 15 years ago, they used to, I mean, you saw Rodney King get beat, and there were a lot of normal citizens that said, well, he must have done something. And yeah, he did do something, but he didn't do anything to get beat like that. Um, so if you have a divergent opinion, or if you have a perspective you maybe you think I need to consider, I would like to hear about it. I'm definitely not opposed to opposing opinions. You know, you have to take everything in, and you have to process it, and that's what I'm able to do sitting in these cancer treatments. Is I sit and uninterrupted get the opportunity to process through stuff without the influence of other people or of the media or of whatever shows up on my phone. Um, so that's one of the unintended benefits of cancer treatment is the opportunity to sit with your thoughts. And it's something that normal people don't have the opportunity to do. And even if they do have the opportunity to do, most times they just get bored and pick up their phone. And I think that that's, I'm not going to say it's causing a problem, but I would say that it's not helping the problem. But so I'm not going to be putting out content regularly. I'm not like a content creator, I guess. This is just thoughts I've had from my cancer treatments. And once I run out of those thoughts, I mean, I go to my next treatment is in 5 weeks. So in 5 weeks, I'll sit alone with my thoughts further and see what I come up with. But if you have something that you would like to say, please leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching.